Fire Down Below is a 1997 action film starring Steven Seagal. Seagal plays Jack Taggart, an EPA agent who is in the small town of Kentucky in the Appalachian Mountains investigating some toxic waste dumps by this greedy businessman named Orrin Sr., played by Chris Christopherson. And the Seagal goes to this local Kentucky town in the mountains where he works undercover as a town handyman, fixing people's porches and doing other odd jobs. But he's also secretly investigating the dumps, was not just because it's poisoning the water and the environment, but it's also also another agent who was working undercover there, who was Seagal's friend and partner. He was murdered, and I was trying to find out who killed him. He gets into a lot of fist fights with the local hillbillies, like drug dealers trying to rough him up and run him out, and pretty good brawls. And the local sheriff, he's a bit of a jerk, not a very good sheriff. And when they try to arrest him, Seagal kicks his deputy's butt. And later scene where this other guy tries to run Seagal off the road and riding this big tanker truck, Seagal runs him off the road and he falls over this mountain way and destroys. And the Christopher Stuyvesant makes a pretty good bad guy, and he has a son, Orin Jr., who's basically the mediator between the bad guys working in the town and his dad, who's running his business out in the city, and it's like a country mouse, city mouse sort of thing. And the Seagal forms a relationship with Sarah, and they made pretty good chemistry. And she's a bit of an outcast in the town. That you don't know why until later when it finds out her Seagal deduces that her brother Earl murdered their father, whom people think Sarah did because the father did find out his son was involved in illegal stuff with the dealings with toxic waste dumpers, and he was um also abusing his sister pervertedly, and so and then I like how Seagal doesn't kill Stephen Lane because Stephen Lane, when he finds out who Seagal is, he gets these goons and they try to kill him in this mine. And after he says, my sister likes you, and I like you. That's why I ain't gonna kill her. Hey, you do it. And Seagal smoothly disarms him and shoots them all up. And Stephen Lange dies when the place collapses. So I'm glad they didn't put Seagal killing him in there, even though that would have been satisfying. And Seagal finally convinces the Orange Jr. to testify against his dad. He agrees. He goes to the city to arrest Orange Sr. and he beats up the bodyguards. And then Orange Sr. pulls a gun, tries to shoot Seagal when he's got his back turned. Seagal turns around, shoots him, and he says, "I'm not." He's only wounded in the shoulder, and he says, "I'm not dead, you asshole." And Seagal says, yeah, I was hoping that was the idea. I wanted you to get busted, and he just leaves him there for the FBI agents to arrest him, and then he reunites with Sarah happily ever after. This is a good movie. It has a good message about protecting the environment and not putting toxic waste in places where people could drink the water and die or get other diseases from swimming in the chemicals. And of course, Seagal was big in environmentalism, so of course that's why it has this message. And I like the scene where he goes into this church and he after the bad guys try to get him, and he gives this little basically he takes over the pulpit and gives this little environmentalist sermon. It's pretty interesting. That encourages the town people to do the right thing and stand up for what's right, and it encourages the preacher to be more helpful. And 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 also there's a scene where Seagal and I mean Taggart and Sarah they go to this dance party, and Seagal shows off his musical talents playing the guitar with the country music band. Some pretty good country music, some pretty good cameos by country singers, including Randy Travis, who plays a crooked guy posing as an agent who gets into a shootout with Seagal. And I like when the fight starts, Seagal before he notices he's a fake, he says, "Is that a quick draw rig?" Because he's got on a gun belt like old West. He says, "Sure is." He said, I didn't know agents do that." And he said, "Around here they do." And then Seagal finds out they're fake. And then when this other fake agent, after the shootout, he says, "Tell your boss I'm coming to get him." No man, second thought, I'll tell him. And he shoots a stick of dynamite, but it doesn't explode. And he says, "I might need you." And yeah, there's a lot of good one-liners from Seagal, and there's a funny things like these people put a snake in his car. He catches the snake real smoothly. The editing in that scene is very great, and then he puts in the bad guy's truck and scares him and causes him to wreck. There's a lot of good humor in this movie, and I probably should have said spoiler alert before I did this video. Well, whatever. I really like this. I give it a thumbs up. And that's my review. If you like it, please hit the like button, subscribe for more great content. Thank you. God bless you. Bye.